Okay, so we're talking here about the Lares Trek. And this is the alternative trail a lot of people and a lot of companies are starting to use in lieu of the famous Inca Trail. And there's a few reasons why this trek is superior in some ways to the Inca Trail. Well, first of all, no permit is required on this trail. And that's obviously very nice. We know that only 200 to 300 people are going to obtain a permit each day on the Inca Trail. This one, there aren't enough travelers really to warrant a permit system on this trek. When I did this trek, we actually didn't see any other tourists for the 3 days we were on tour. Now, the other superior thing, absolutely, from this trek over the Inca Trail is we're walking through highland, Quechua-speaking indigenous inhabited communities. Very primitive houses, and they're really living a very, antiquated lifestyle. And we're going to get a taste of what life is like in the highland Andes. We're going to be walking through literally these people's backyards, and we're going to get a really good taste of what life is like here in the high Andes. We're going to see mom is weaving. We're going to see lots and lots of children here on the Lares Trek. They're going to be all over the place, and you can see their little sunburnt, rosy cheeks. Just beautiful children. We've actually started a system where the only thing we're permitted to distribute on the trail is bread. Okay, we don't want to get these people dependent on travelers distributing money or, sweets to the kids. Bread is something they can use, so we're all permitted to grab one bag of bread at the beginning of the tour, and that's the only thing we distribute on tour. So the people still enjoy having us, and worth noting, they're still at the point where they're like, wow, what are these people doing in our backyard? They're not at the point where they're a little bit tourist jaded, so a great time to do it right now. You can see here our porters, you can see our cooks, you can see our guides. So this is a fully escorted trek, just like the Inca Trail. We don't actually have to carry anything on this trail. That's taken by our porters and a team of llamas. Our cooks are taking down camp, cooking all the food, and our guide, who of course is taking us through the route. Now it is similar in difficulty to the Inca Trail. There's two key exceptions I'm going to talk about now between the Inca Trail and the Lares Trek. The first one is that we're going to a higher pass on this trek. We're going up to 4,550 meters. Highest pass on the Inca Trail is 4,200 meters. So for those that think in feet, highest pass on the Inca Trail is about 12,500. Highest pass on the Lares Trek is about 14,000 feet. So still a pretty good altitude. Now anybody can do this trek, doesn't matter your age. We still have a guide behind us and a guide in front of us, so as long as you're in reasonable shape, you'll be fine on this thing. The other thing to note is that, and this is one of the reasons it's a little bit easier than the Inca Trail, on this trek, okay, on the Inca Trail we're doing 3 nights camping, 4th day we physically walk into Machu Picchu. This one we're doing 2 nights camping along the trail. Okay, so night 1 we camp at a pretty high elevation, night 2 we're at a slightly lower elevation. Day 3 we pop out and we're actually at the train tracks. So we're going to take the train for the final afternoon of day 3, and where are we going to go? Well, to the end of the train tracks, the small town of Aguascalientes. Okay, here we're going to spend the night. Maybe we can have a beer, go to the restaurant, have a good night's sleep. The next day we're up at about 5 o'clock to catch the first bus to Machu Picchu from Aguascalientes, and that leaves at about 5:30. Takes about an hour, so we're at the site, we're at Machu Picchu at about 6 o'clock a.m., 7 o'clock a.m., about the same time the Inca Trail people arrive, and that's important that we're getting there before the train arrives, so we still do have that really special time to ourselves at Machu Picchu. So that's a little bit about the Lares Trek, and I hope you learned something, and I hope you will continue traveling with me at www.kevinsworldvideotour.com. Thanks for listening.